New York City, Miami, are these hot markets to be in real estate? I'll let you in on a little secret. These are not two of the hottest markets going into 2022. In this video, I'm gonna share with you what are the 5 hot real estate markets to look out for in 2022 so that next year you can get better deals than all your friends and make that extra income that you wanted going into next year. Now, you know real estate is the avenue you want to go into because you know that it can, if you've done correctly, it can give you all the profit, all the income you need to buy all the NFT yachts that you possibly can handle. Well, look no further. I would not leave you stranded. By the end of this video, I'm going to share with you what are the top 5 markets and 2 of them being extremely affordable so that you can look at them, go into it with confidence, knowing that what you're going to buy is going to be appreciating and you're going to make rental or flip income on them. Now, let's go into what these markets are. Before I tell you the exact markets, what I want to share with you is what makes up a good market in my book. There are 3 factors that make up a good market. One of them is supply. One of them is demand. And the last factor for the market is the median price of household income. If you know a little bit about economics or charts and graphs, you know there's a simple supply and demand curve. It's the same for real estate. It's literally that simple. The least supply and the more demand, the more expensive. So each market has its own supply and demand, and we're gonna go into it here. All right, what is my number 1 market that I will recommend for you going into 2022? And that is Knoxville, Tennessee. So Knoxville, Tennessee is really interesting. We've actually just flipped some houses in Nashville, which is pretty nearby, and it is a crazy market. We've never been more outbid on our wholesale properties than in Nashville, Tennessee. So Knoxville is kind of like the next big thing. It's the next city over. So there's 9.2 weeks of supply of inventory in Nashville. So what does that mean exactly? Well, a balanced supply is about 4 to 6 months. So when there's 4 to 6 months on the market of inventory for sale, so if there's houses for sale equaling the demand and it's 4 to 6 months, that is equilibrium. That means that is good. Knoxville, Tennessee, and sorry if I look at my screen here to have my notes. Knoxville, Tennessee is only 9.2 weeks. So that's 2.5 months or 2 months and 2 months and a week. That is a lot less. Also, demand. The population growth of Knoxville, Tennessee is 5% since 2010. So how people look at population growth is pretty much since 2010. That's how we're looking at it right now. It's about 10 to 12 year average. So in the last 10 years, Knoxville, Tennessee has grown 5%. Now, Raul, what about the prices? So the median price to date of Knoxville, Tennessee is $295,000. That is the median house price on the market. And that is up 13.5% since last year. All these markets that I'm gonna go through next are typically below $300,000. The reason I picked these markets is because number 1, it's affordable. Because if you could just get a loan with 5-10% down on a $295,000 house, you can be into a house for $10,000 to $15,000. Now that's pretty affordable if you could just discipline yourself to save a little bit and have a little extra in the bank so you can make that investment. The next market I'd encourage you to look into is Palm Bay, Melbourne market. Palm Bay, Melbourne, Florida, and Titusville, okay? This is Brevard County, and I'm very familiar with this county because I live in Miami, Florida, but we've actually started investing in this market. There's only 3 weeks worth of supply in this market, which is insanely low. That is a good thing. The demand has gone up 2% per year and for the last 12 years of growth. So what I've seen when I looked at the stats, the demand has been going up about 1 to 1.5% per year for the last 12 years. So it's been very, very consistent growth. There's no signs of this slowing down. And the median price for a house in this area is $292,000. Now, what's beautiful about this area, and I'll share with you a quick story of a house that we did in Palm Bay, Florida. We got it from our wholesale business. So we send the text messages to people who own homes in Palm Bay with equity. And we asked them, hey, would you be looking to sell this property? Before you do that, go and consult an attorney of the right way to do it because there's a wrong way and there's a right way to do that. Anyways, we sent these text messages and someone responded and said, yeah, I'm not living there anymore and I want to sell my house. We made them an offer, a cash offer to close as is, no closing costs, no commissions, etc. And we got the house for $100,000. We then sold it to my other company. I sold it to myself for $119,000 because that's what buyers were willing to pay for cash in that area. Then we got that property, we put $10,000 into it, and we sold it for $185,000 cash to a buyer that was gonna live in it. They're actually moving from North Carolina to Palm Bay, Florida, which when talking to a lot of realtors, that's been happening a lot to Florida because of the tax benefits and the liberal views of the state. What is the next market? The next market I encourage you to look at is Pensacola, Florida. Pensacola, Florida is another market that we have recently purchased 2 properties in and wholesaled another 4 properties. So we've gotten to be a little bit familiar with the market. This is a market that I would coin as affordable. So believe it or not, Pensacola I believe still has not caught up. It is still a buyer's market, okay? It's not really necessarily a seller's market when you really look into the details. There's about 1.2 months worth of supply, which might seem low, but the demand's only up 3.3% since 2010, and the median price is $263,000. But what I've seen in reality is every single house we've purchased has been under $100,000, 3-bed, 2-bath house, concrete built. We've sold to investors for roughly the same prices. So meaning if you really go out there, you can find a house for under $120,000 in Pensacola, 3-bed, 2-bath. And they usually rent from anywhere from $1,100 to $1,400. Spartanburg, South Carolina. That is the next one we're gonna talk about. The supply is stable, okay? Meaning it's not a buyer's market, it's not a seller's market. You know how the other one said 1.2 months? So in this market, it's actually pretty at equilibrium. I couldn't find an exact figure as I dug deep into it, but it seems like it's gonna be anywhere from 3 to 4 months worth of supply. Meaning it's not that hot of a market. But Raul, why did you put it on there? I really like this market because there's been a 15% increase since 2010 of population, and the median price is $202,000. And so it's showing me that it probably hasn't caught up yet, probably because other parts of South Carolina and also North Carolina have been growing so rapidly, people have not flocked there yet. But I believe in 2022, Spartanburg, South Carolina is actually gonna go up quite a bit in value because people are gonna realize how much more affordable it is there than other major cities. And last but not least, we got Huntsville, Alabama, with 1 month of supply, 11% increase since 2010, and the median price is $270,000. What's crazy about Huntsville, Alabama is that, probably 5 to 6 years ago, the prices were $40,000 and now they're $270,000. So it has achieved a lot of growth. It shows that the population is not stopping. There's a really young crowd. The average age going to Huntsville, Alabama is 34 years old, meaning that they're typically probably gonna be there for a while. And there's no signs of population growth slowing down. I truly believe that Huntsville, Alabama, although it has raised a lot, it has a lot more to go. So if you want to learn how to find these deals off market in any of these towns, you can check out some of these videos that I've done about how we find deals off market, how to talk to sellers, how to negotiate the best deal, so you can get a property off market and find a lender, put 10% down and be able to close on this property and own your next investment deal in 2022. And also, if you really want to get deep into these markets, smash that like button. That's the last area that's hot in 22 is this channel. Smash that like button, hit the bell so you can be notified, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.